I want to zoom out for a moment because everything we've talked about in this module, cholesterol, saturated fat, cardiovascular disease, metabolic health, they don't all exist in a vacuum. They exist inside a much bigger story. And if we don't understand that bigger story, we miss the point. What we are living in right now is what I call the perfect storm. Over the last 50 to 70 years, we didn't just change one thing. We changed how we eat, how food is made, how animals are raised, how we live, how we sleep, what we're exposed to, and how fast everything moves. And these changes didn't happen slowly. They simply happened faster than human biology could adapt. This is the key idea. We created a mismatch between modern life and human physiology. The first system to take a hit was the metabolic system. We dramatically increased sugar, refined carbohydrates, ultra processed foods, and at the same time, we removed traditional fats, nutrient density, and metabolic stability. This created chronic insulin elevation, insulin resistance. And here's the important connection: fat and cholesterol are part of the cell membrane. So when we destabilize metabolism, we also destabilize signaling, cellular communication, and fuel regulation. Next came the gut and immune system. We shifted towards grains and legumes, industrial processing, and mass production. But what we lost was soaking, fermenting, and traditional preparation methods, which historically helped us reduce plant toxins. Lectin is a very famous plant toxin, gluten is a very famous lectin, anti nutrients, and digestive burden. So now we have more gut irritation, more microbiome disruption, and immune activation. And over time, loss of what we call immune tolerance. This is where we see food sensitivities, chronic inflammation, and autoimmunity. And I want to point out that 50 years ago, we didn't have gluten free, soy free, dairy free, corn free, grain free, everything free diets because the system was more tolerant. The third hit was the detox system. We layered on an environmental load, chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, plastics, glyphosate, medication, personal care products with estrogen-like mimicking compounds. And at the same time, we developed fatty liver, poor metabolic function, and impaired clearance. So now we have more incoming toxins and less capacity to process them, which overwhelms the system. The fourth hit, the nervous system. Modern life became faster, louder, more stimulating, more demanding, and more constant. We moved into chronic sympathetic dominance. Fight or flight became the baseline. And on top of that, disrupted circadian rhythms, poor sleep, constant input, quick on the go food. That destabilizes our recovery, our ability to self regulate, our immune control, and energy systems deregulate. The fifth hit, the hormonal system, which is downstream of blood sugar, fat metabolism, gut health, detox capacity, and nervous system regulation. So, when all of these systems are unstable, the body shifts into survival mode. And in survival mode, the body prioritizes safety, energy conservation, stress adaptation, not fertility, drive, vitality, and long term resilience. And here's where it gets even more important. The Industrial Revolution started this shift, but then the manufacturing era doubled down on it. We didn't just change food, we engineered it. We created shelf stable products, hyper palatable foods, chemical preservation, and large scale processing. And that is where the nail in the coffin for metabolic stability comes from. So when we step back, what we see is not one problem. We see a multi system breakdown across metabolism, the gut and immune system, the detox system, the nervous system, and our ability to have optimal hormone regulation. And this is why we are seeing more fatigue, more sleep issues, more brain decline, more digestive problems, more hormonal imbalances, more autoimmunity, more depression, and more metabolic disease. Not because people are weak, but because the environment changed faster than our biology could adapt. So, if you remember one thing from this lesson, let it be this: bodies are not broken. They're responding to the conditions that they live within. And when we understand that, everything changes because now we're not fighting the body dominating over the body, uptaking, blocking, inhibiting the body. We're learning to live in alignment with it again. This isn't a failure of the body, it's a mismatch between biology and environment. Thank you for your interest in this body of work, and I will see you in the next video.